So our dear friend, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, who has been not prosecuted but persecuted by the, it was during the Trump administration, but persecuted by the the Obama holdovers in the DOJ, the FBI, who cooked up a farce of a case against him. And Flynn is still, he went through, a whole long story, been through a bunch of times, finally got around because of Sidney Powell's brilliant lawyering, got around to the DOJ dismissing all charges, asking the judge to drop the case, and Emmett Sullivan, still wouldn't drop it. And then, as you know, President Trump pardoned him. Full and complete pardon, done with this nightmare of a hoax of prosecution. Trump pardoned him, and Emmett Sullivan still won't dismiss the case. Think about that. The only prosecuting entity possible, DOJ, has said no charges, no case, drop it, please drop it. And they did that because they were caught red-handed and have it with data, with facts, with evidence that showed they had cooked up the charges against him. They were fraudulent charges. DOJ drops it, and still Emmett Sullivan, who must be in some degree bribed or paid to do what to just stay in the game and not so he won't dismiss it. Okay, I sent Matt the Wonderful one clip. I want to wrap up. I was going to do it at the start of the show today, but I know you probably couldn't tell. I got a little bit wound up, but I do want to play. Trump was in Georgia yesterday or Saturday, and he's doing a rally for these two senators, Republican senators, who are running now in this special election in Georgia. And so he did a little rally. I'm going to play a quick clip of him, and then we'll go to our Why It Matters.
And I want to say, hello, Georgia. We did a great job. We won Georgia, just so you understand.
I love when he says that kind of thing. I love it.
And we won Florida. And we won a lot of places. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're gathered here tonight to ensure, a very important word, ensure, because these are two great, great people that I know so well and respected by everybody in Washington and beyond, that David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler win the most important congressional runoff probably in American history. I really believe that. I think it's in American. There's never been a time like this where you have two at one time. At least you have two beauties. And you know what? You also have two beauties running against them, but beauty in a different way. They're two beauties. But there's never been a case where a state has had this prominence on Senate races, because they're never together. And this is something that's very important, and you have to get out, and you have to vote. You have to make sure you have every vote counted. Every vote has to count. You got to make sure they don't throw away any ballots. You got to make sure that when they collect the ballots and they start bragging about how many ballots they already have, you got to make sure your Secretary of State knows what the hell he's doing. And you got to make sure your governor gets a lot tougher than he's been. He's got to get a lot tougher.
Okay, I'll tell you one last quick thing, and I'll go why it matters to you. So I had some media thing, and I ended up talking to someone afterwards who was talking about the idea, and I missed this. I will dig it up and find it. But Stacey Abrams, the woman, a Democrat who ran for governor, and she's down there very, very active still in Georgia politics. And they're going to be in this next runoff, the Senate runoff, to choose who represents Georgia in the U.S. Senate. And obviously, as you heard Trump saying, it is the whole, he didn't use this, it's the whole enchilada. If Democrats get the two last seats in the Senate, and they still have a slim majority in the House, and they have, God forbid, Biden gets actually sworn in on the January 20th, it'll be a huge, huge consequence to America. It is a reason to fight this election more than anything else and demand justice. But anyway, down to this thing in Georgia, he's down there basically saying you got to get these two people in, most important election ever. He's exactly right. So he's down there, and just you look at those crowds. Joe Biden Okay, this is a president that the left is trying to claim lost. Stacey Abrams, by the way, had said in a media thing recently that she already has, for this upcoming election, for the mail-in ballots, they're going to use mail-in ballots again after all the fraud, mail-in ballots for this special runoff for Senate in Georgia. And Stacey Abrams says it's either 800 or 900,000 mail-in ballots. She said, and I already have 800, 900,000 mail-in ballots. Okay, first of all, why does she have any ballots? Number one. Number two, what is she talking about? What is she planning to do? Is she going to sit home and fill them out herself? I mean, who knows? But this election for Senate from Georgia could not be more consequential, could not be more impactful of America's future of liberty, future of freedom, future of fair elections than getting the two Republicans elected. And of course, the media is already starting with the messaging, well, looks like the Democrats are ahead. Looks like Democrats are going to win these 2 Senate seats. So, there's a lot to be done in Georgia. We'll talk about Georgia more in the next few weeks. But anyway, Trump was down there getting a crowd after he supposedly has lost re-election, which he didn't. A crowd of that size hysterically chanting, "We love you." Joe Biden has never had a crowd like that in his life for any event of any kind he has ever done. Do you ever think about that? Trump has endless events like this. People just can't wait to come. And what they love about him is that he loves America. It's not a cult of personality for Trump. It's if you want to use the word cult, the left is always saying that Trump supporters are a cult of personality. It's not. It's people who love America and finally can hear from a candidate or elected official who also loves America as much as they do. That's why they love Trump. And that crowd there was massive, something Biden could never have created in 1 million years. And yet we're supposed to believe that Biden got more votes than Trump in Georgia. Does not comport, my very fine friends, with reality, with the basic common sense reality test.